Oh hey, Max here, and welcome back to my channel with my Sisyphus-esque video, my definitive review of Signalis, a video I tried to launch back in January. It is now March, and I have to re-record this intro again because my last intro was for a February drop. Yeah, just a lot of delays, a lot of sickness, a lot of that, you know. Now, if I may have an obligatory call to action, over 99% of people who are watching this video won't be subscribed. If you like video game reviews and you like what you see here today, please consider subscribing, or just subscribe right now. That'd be cool. Developed by the Hamburg-based studio Rose Engine and published by Humble Games and Playism, Signalis is a top-down survival horror video game that seeks to replicate the days of the PlayStation 1's visuals. Mixed with what I would describe as manga-style art, Signalis is beyond visually appealing. To me, it's downright immersive. With its unique art style, use of color, and juxtaposition between the in-game cutscenes and the manga-style ones, it's very good at keeping your attention. Well, it kept my attention. I guess I'm assuming it would keep yours. It's also just not that demanding of a game, given the type of game it is, because it plays on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, and your PC. What you're seeing here is PC gameplay, but, I love a game that everyone can experience, no matter what console. Signalis plays like a traditional survival horror video game. You manage a small inventory of items, deciding what is necessary to take with you and what can stay behind in your chest in each of the level's dedicated safe rooms. The gunplay is okay. It's not extremely satisfying, but there's a decent enough of weapon variety that keeps it from feeling stale. The shotgun is still the best survival horror weapon, by the way, and in Signalis, it comes in very handy. There's also a lot of traditional puzzle solving that is akin to games like Resident Evil. You must find door codes, keys, and other strange trinkets to progress through. However, what Signalis does to make it stand out is that it uses this radio frequency system to help solve about half of the puzzles in the game. I found it quite fun, but in some instances it was a little cumbersome. While it's cool to tune into different frequencies to help solve puzzles, there is an enemy that requires you to rapidly switch between radio frequencies in order to defeat it, or else it starts to make your vision go all staticky, and it has a bunch of copies of itself. In hindsight, I guess the game doesn't do it as much as I remember, but through multiple playthroughs, it was a little hard to remember all the instances, and yeah, it just did it enough to annoy me, I guess is my point. Enemies are varied enough to provide a challenge. The zombified androids are cleverly designed to be effective roadblocks that require some strategy on what to prioritize. Some will run up to you with a knife and stab you. Some have elongated legs and can kick you from afar. And some of them like to close the distance with an obnoxious riot shield. And they'll block your shots, so make sure you time it right, because they do drop their shield eventually, and you can time a good shot to their head and they will actually topple over. The boss fights are okay. One of them is recycled twice. Technically, you can skip them because it's more like a boss becoming a regular enemy. But since you only see it like 2 more times, it's technically a recycled boss fight. It's alright. It's not my favorite design boss ever. And the second boss is a bit disappointing, given that it is visually very unique. You just kind of have to wait for an NPC to kill it while you kite it around the arena, getting away from the NPC so it can get the one-hit kill off. The final boss is actually a challenge and makes for a very fun fight because it actually has real mechanics. One that involves the inventory management part of the game, which I kind of thought was cool, and visually also probably the best looking boss in the game. Each level flows together pretty smoothly, and in future runs you can kind of like sequence break, since if you memorize certain puzzle solutions, you can just kind of skip over parts of the game, making for a faster run, which is what I love about the survival horror genre. I don't think all of them do that, but some will allow you to skip certain parts of the game and judge you and rank you on your speed about beating the game, and I always really like that. I think survival horror games are great at helping you memorize critical information. I just like that, and Signalis has excellent replayability because of it. Overall, while it's not Resident Evil, Signalis still expertly captures what I like about survival horror elements, making it an enjoyable experience for me and for what I believe any player no matter what difficulty they play on. I say this because I actually played on casual for most of it, and I was never really bored. Originally, when I finished Signalis, I had no idea what the hell I just experienced. I didn't look up any lore videos because I just, plain and simple, didn't want it to alter my opinion on the game. But I did Google how many endings there were, and when I saw that there were 4 endings, I decided to make it my mission to get all 4 endings. And let me tell you, I didn't get all 4 endings. No. See, 2 endings are really easy to get. The promised ending is really easy to get and is probably the game's default ending, given that its requirements are to finish around the 12-hour mark with a lot of enemies killed. And then the second easiest one is the memory ending. It's unlocked if you avoid a lot of combat and don't kill most enemies, and finish around the 6-hour mark, which you'll probably easily get on your second playthrough. The third ending I got was the secret artifact ending. The only requirement is you find these secret keys hidden throughout the game that are using secret radio frequencies and codes. How did I get this? Am I a puzzle genius? No, I googled it, internet guide, because I saw that there was a secret ending. The ending that I failed to unlock myself was called the leave ending. I just couldn't do it. You had to click on a lot of doors that weren't usable. You had to avoid taking a lot of damage, avoid killing enemies, and you had to talk to every NPC and exhaust their dialogue options. And you had to spend a lot of times in the game's flashback sequences. Somewhere along the line, I messed it up, and I thought I did it perfectly. Turns out, not really. And I tried resetting it a couple times, and at that point I hit my limit, and I accepted. I had failed my mission to give you guys the most definitive review you were looking for, and for that I apologize. But at least I looked it up, right? I read about it. That counts. Besides that, I did enjoy that Signalis was a game with a more interpretive storyline, something that I thought was a bit of a cop-out at first. However, on my second playthrough, I was able to connect the dots more and more, and that's when I realized, oh, yeah, this definitely needs a couple more playthroughs before I even review this. The story follows an android named Elster trying to find her missing lover on a derelict military base somewhere on a snowy planet in the middle of space. Some sort of sickness has previously plagued the base before Elster's arrival, killing all the humans and infecting all the androids, turning them aggressive, violent, and mindless. Throughout the game, you'll be shown messages like, "Things have learned to walk that ought to crawl," and perhaps "This is hell." Messages that I believe are best left to player interpretation. I think this game is it's all in the head kind of cliche story, but with the question of whose head are we in? Because in my opinion, it's not Elster's. I believe that Elster might actually be physically imprisoned in someone's mind, given that there are some in-game lore implications of gods and their psychic powers, and the "perhaps this is hell" message that flashes throughout the game leads me to believe that Signalis is a looping nightmare, each playthrough acting as a new loop, and no matter what you do, you can never truly beat the nightmare. You never truly see a happy ending. The happiest one still has mostly tragedy written into it. So I guess the interpretive approach wasn't a bad thing. Signalis is made with a whole lot of love and passion. I can appreciate that. It took me a few attempts to see the vision, but I was patient enough with it. While it's not like the most perfect survival horror game I've ever played, it still really captured the essence of what makes me love this genre in the first place. There's a lot of homage paid to Silent Hill and Resident Evil, while still being its own thing, and I think that Rose Engine is a passionate group of developers, and I can't wait to see what they do next, or if they're gonna make anything next. Have they released anything? I'm not caught up with their catalog, if they have. My final score for Signalis is going to be an 8 out of 10. Thanks so much for watching, If you like what I had to say, because I have a lot to say about video games, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.